Well, Will here. When I grow up, I'm gonna be that fat guy that walks around with his socks halfway on. I'm drinking water, plain water for the first time. Because I'm eating gummy worms though. All right, great movie for you tonight. We're gonna do. Man, those are good. We're gonna do a cool video. It's awesome, super awesome. An exploration, an explanation of separateness, oneness, duality, non-duality, going beyond it. All right, we're gonna arrive at a pretty cool conclusion here. Hopefully, I can nail it. I practiced 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago, but I tell you what, woo! All right, in order to do this, we're gonna have to first start with an explanation and an understanding of the process of wisdom. Okay, pretty cool. Bear with me. So there's life experience. Okay, and life experience is going to be. Gotta pause it. I can't remember the word. Sugar log. Life experience is going to be profound or it's going to be mundane. Okay, all life experience is actually profound, but we don't realize that. You see, mostly we realize the life experience is mundane. But when we do realize the life experience as profound, or we have a profound realization of the life experience, that's enlightenment. That is enlightenment. And whatever the profound realization means is the wisdom. Now, the wisdom is memory. It's a memory because the experience happens, we realize its profundity, there's an arising of wisdom, but then the life experience changes, and so the wisdom becomes a memory. And we don't want the life experience to go back to the mundane. So we hold on to this wisdom and we conceptualize the meaning of the realization, and we try to make it real through conceptualization. So the profound realization of oneness, being one with everything, everyone, the universe, I mean that is a supreme truth. One of the supreme truths of many truths. It's great. That is wisdom, right? Profound realization. Maybe it was derived from looking outward in the life. You look outward in the life and you see the apparent reality of separateness in everything you see. I see my phone, my cabinet, my TV. All of these things are separate for me. They have separate forms. They're made of plastic, wood, whatever. I see all the animals. They look different. They're all crazy. They're separate. Trees, rocks, earth. It's all separate. Houses, people. Everybody's separate from me. This apparent separateness. And maybe you contemplate this separateness in the outside reality, the outside world of you, so strongly that eventually you arrive at this profound realization of, oh, it's all one. We are all one. And so the life experience changes. Your wisdom becomes a memory. And if that's all that it is for you, then you might cling to that experience and create the conceptualization of oneness. Now, if you look for it in the conceptual realm, you enter into duality, because oneness is inherently dualistic. Because if you're not one, you're separate. If you're separate, you're not one. So it's not going to take you out of duality. It's in duality. And then if you try to pretend like, or you talk like you are everyone else, nobody understands you, and like it's weird. And then you become separate from everybody else. All right, so time out. I'm not dogging nothing. This is an exploration. And an exploration, an explanation. a little bit about ego. So before we time out back in. Now the egoic structure of mind in the conceptual realm loves the concept of arrival, because when it has arrived at a place, it means that it's won. And if it has won, it means it's beat everybody else. And if it's beat everybody else, it's the best. So it's total separateness. So in regards to using oneness or separateness as a guide towards pointing to truth, because all words point to truth, they are not the truth. That is the problem with that teaching, is that it's inherently dualistic. Now, because you've looked out, you saw the separateness apparent, and you became, and you realized, and you realized, oh, it's all one, and you had a profound life experience. It altered maybe your how you see things and your level of consciousness, but this is one, okay? Let's go beyond it. All right. So some people look out and they see separateness, they see pain, and they don't want to contemplate out. They don't need to, because it's just pain for them, you know. So maybe they go in. Okay. Contemplate what is inside. What is this? This is me. This is the self. So I go in and I contemplate the self. So, and then I find, upon a deep contemplation of the self, I have the profound realization that there is no self. And if there is no self, there is no other. So there is nothing. There is noneness. This is my fun thing here. So non-duality is oneness. No self is noneness. So you got ones and zeros, baby. Ones and zeros. The old in and out. I mean, I guess we're all a computer program, a simulation, if you want the truth. And they didn't make the universe with just ones. You have to have zeros also. This is really cool to me, on a side note, to think about. Like, this is the feminine realization, because going in subject is feminine, going out is masculine. And so anyways, I find that very interesting. But so if you go back to the noneness, right, the noneness concept, it is apparently less dualistic than oneness and separateness, the concept of oneness and separateness. But it doesn't fully explain what is the part that recognizes no self. There is no self. What is the part that sees that there's no self? So it needs to be further explored and further contemplated. So it's not a no self. It's the recognizer and the recognizer of the illusion of self. See? So that gets us to the concept of recognizer and the recognizer of the illusion of self. So recognition by itself, this is somewhat dualistic in that we've arrived at two. They're not necessarily opposite of one another, but if we look at them more deeper, we continue to go, we can see how it becomes non-duality. So essentially, the recognition is neutral in itself. It functions in one dimension, and that is that it recognizes. It doesn't evaluate. It doesn't judge. It doesn't do anything except for recognizes. So the illusion of self, when it is expressed, the illusion of self is expressed in terms of self-view. We're going to call it self-view. And self-view looks at reality in two dimensions. If the life experience is mundane, it's bad. If the life experience is profound, it's good. It doesn't like to live in the mundane life experience. It likes to live in the experience of the profound. So we see that self-view exists in two dimensions, in duality. But the recognizer does not exist in duality. So, therefore, it is interesting that if we go out, we come to a dual and a non-dualistic understanding of the universe in terms of the language of self and other. But no, there is no distinction, right? But if we go in, we come to the same understanding of duality and non-duality, but from the realization of, conscious awareness and then conceptualization, life experience and conceptualization. So, if it is all one, it is all one, and it is the same understanding. The only thing that is different is the language and the way in which we went about in understanding this. You see? And if a person needs to say it is one, or tell somebody else it is one, it is 100% implied that they are separate, or their view is separate. And so that stems from self-view, and so that is separate. You see, once we conceptualize things, or, we have these profound realizations, we develop wisdom, and then we want to stay with that, but it's going to go away. Because one of the other supreme truths of reality is that everything is impermanent. So it will change. It's not going to stay. And so we want it to stay, and so we try to keep it alive in conceptualization. Yes, I'm one. Yes, I'm one. Yes, I'm one. Or no, there is no self. There is no will. There is no will. And it becomes a religious dogma at that point, and it's not real anymore, and you become separated. You see, so going back to conscious awareness, the recognizer, self-view, conscious awareness, and ignorance, truth, ignorance, or life experience and conceptualization, we see that the wisdom, once the person realizes there is no self, it is only the illusion of self, the wisdom at a certain point changes. So when the life experience becomes mundane, the wisdom that is generated with that is, this is a mundane life experience. And then when the life experience becomes profound, the wisdom that arises from that is, this is a profound life experience. But none of them are bound to stay. They must change. So, it is a spiritual journey, and we are all on it, and we are all in different places. And depending on where you look is going to determine on what you find. But if it is truth, if you are looking for something and you find truth, no matter what it sounds like, it will always take you to the same place. And that is the same place of oneness. No matter how you arrive there, all roads lead to truth, and truth is oneness. Okay. So, on another note, haven't notified him yet. We've talked about it. Gonna do a live stream with Jonas Trips, some Canadian dude who found me on the internet. So we're gonna do that Saturday, which is tomorrow. So in 12 hours, we're gonna do a live stream. I haven't told him yet. If he watches this movie tonight or tomorrow morning, he will know. And it's gonna be awesome. So you should, I don't know how that stuff works, but you should tune in. And it seems like he has a live stream thing that he does where it seems like he brings interesting characters onto his show and interviews them. So I guess I'm going to be an interesting character on his show. I'm part of the sideshow. So look for that. Jonas Trips, he's got a yin and yang, and we're gonna hash it out. I'm gonna be an interesting character. I'm gonna be a villain, because villains are always awesome and interesting. So anyways, look for that. Okay, until next time. I'm eating gummy worms. I'm going to eat my gummy worms. See you later.